The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma. The 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I've come to receive and maintain it within my sight here, I vow to fathom thus someone true natural meaning. Usang Seng Se Wei Miao Fa Ba Ni Jie Wan Jie Nan Zhao Yu Wo Jin Jie Wen De Shou Xu Yin Jie Ru Lai Zhen Ge Yi. All Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Venerable Six Pacha, Venerable Shenhua, Shamini, all Buddha advisors and Mito 诸佛菩萨六祖师父上人，下面你各位善知识人弥陀佛。chư Phật Bồ Tát, kính thưa lực tổ ở thượng Thiên Hoa, sư cô và quý vị thiện tri thức A Di Đà Phật. Today is the 19th, 2012, August, month of August. We are here in Roseville, California, to discuss the Vajra Sutra. We're on slide 274. Indeed, it's very auspicious. We are able to get together and discuss one of the major milestone in the investigation of Buddhism. This is the Vajra Sutra, where we are sharing in English our understanding of the state of wisdom that is very particular to Buddhism only. Only Buddhism can bring us to this level of wisdom, this level of understanding that hasn't been explained in this kind of detail before. Oh, by the way, today is very hot, and our Buddha hall has no insulation. So it's very hot in the summer and very cold in the winter, kind of extremes. So can we get maybe another fan up here, another fan or something here, so that people can be more comfortable before they pass out from the heat? There's no need to be this extreme, okay? I realize it's a little bit extreme, but because of the important concepts are being discussed, I want to take extra measures to not discourage you from coming, because it will be hot the next couple of weeks. So anyway, the concept of Arhats is a very, very important concept. We started talking about the Arhats is a level of wisdom that is beyond the non-Buddhist attention. For the last few weeks, we've been explaining about the first 3 stages of Arhatship. First stage Arhat, second stage Arhat, and third stage Arhat. Okay, this is what has not been explained in English yet, and so we chose to explain this concept of Arhatship in English in order, thank you, to document and add to the understanding of concrete understanding of Buddhism. Buddhism is very practical. Okay? It seeks to be useful for you, meaning that it has to be, the Buddhist concept is a concept that stresses practicality, something you can use in your life. Okay? And therefore, this concept of hardship is very important. You can add it here. You can put it up here. Thank you. Because it helps us understand the nature of the confusion we experience. So when we talk about, in Buddhism, when we talk about wisdom, it is the ability to see clearly so that we are not confused by exterior things, by external things. Dạng về cái quan điểm của A-la-hán quan điểm rất là quan trọng. Lần đầu tiên chúng ta có thể có cơ hội gặp nhau để mà giảng tương tận quan niệm về cái A-la-hán. Đó là cái sở trường của Phật giáo. Phật giáo, tu theo Phật giáo mới đắc được tới cái trình độ trí huệ của A-la-hán, sơ quả, nhị quả, tam quả. Mấy tuần vừa rồi anh giảng về cái quả trước, về anh giảng cái tứ quả. Alright. So the first 3 stages of Arhatship are very, very special in that they are considered to be transcendental wisdom, transcendental knowledge. Thì 3 cái quả đầu tiên A-la-hán được gọi là xuất thế, tại vì họ bắt đầu tránh được những cái mê hoặc của người thế gian. Transcendental wisdom means that they know things that us common mortals can't know, don't know ourselves. They have special knowledge that escapes, that's beyond the reach of common mortals like us. Okay, that's why it's called transcendental, because it elevates them above the typical understanding of what is considered in Buddhism ordinary people. Okay, that includes all the people who practice in all the faiths are considered ordinary people because they don't know how to end, how to recognize the suffering that's persistent, that's present in our world. Okay, so they're confused by the what is called in Buddhism remarks, external things confuse them, and they cannot see through these confusions. That's why it's not until you reach the first stage Arhatship then you begin to see through these confusions, or see through the fog, if you will. Okay, and that's why it's called transcendental wisdom. Okay, for you, some of you are new. Let me translate a bit in English first. Cái này là nói tóm tắt lại mấy cái tuần vừa rồi. Sơ là nói về sơ quả A-la-hán, mấy cái vị A-la-hán, những cái vị có chi về xuất thế, là họ tránh được cái sự mê hoặc người phàm phu như chúng ta bị về những cái phương pháp các pháp môn khác, tu hành khác, tôn giáo khác thì đắc tới không thể nào thoát được cái thế tục này. Thành ra vẫn gọi là bị còn phàm phu. Chỉ người A-la-hán sơ quả trở lên mới được gọi là có cái trí huệ xuất thế, là họ có những cái biết, những cái nhìn rõ ràng hơn người phàm phu chúng ta. người sơ quả La Hán không bị mấy cái lục trần nó làm họ mê hoặc, âm thanh không làm họ mê hoặc, cái hình tướng không làm họ mê hoặc, thành lục trần. So, for example, the first stage Arhat, the very first level of significant wisdom, transcendental wisdom, is that the first stage Arhat. He or she is no longer confused by the six dusts. The six dusts are the sound, the form. Okay, the sound meaning that when this first stage Arhat hears praises, he's not turned on by it. But when he hears or she hears criticism, she's not unhappy. So like she's unmoved, unperturbed by the six dusts. Okay. For example, he sees a beautiful woman. He's not affected, terribly disturbed by it. And now here is laughing. Or a handsome man, for that matter. You women are not spared from this. Okay. So it works both ways. So hàng em họ không bị cái sắc hình tướng đẹp làm họ dao động tâm trạng. That's the first stage Arhat, meaning that all the six sense organs cannot disturb them anymore. Whatever you receive cannot affect them. Therefore, they maintain clarity of mind. They are not influenced by external things, by the six dusts. Is that clear? That is considered transcendental wisdom in Buddhism. Okay, that's for real. Okay, that helps you maintain clarity of mind, by the way. Alright? Thành ra cái hàm như người này sơ quả như vậy, không bị cái lục trần chi phối các ngài, thành ra ngài có sự cái sáng suốt tinh thần, okay? Không bị ảnh hưởng bởi cái ngoại cảnh. Is it clear? We see why in Buddhism it's very clear. This concept is very, very important. Not until you are no longer affected by the external world are you considered to have some kind of special wisdom and knowledge. Okay? You yourself know. Okay. So these measures are very, very, very precise. Is it clear? Okay. And then the second stage, Arhat, is a stage is a state of being where they give rise to one false thought and then they stop. They don't follow it. Cái nhị quả là họ sinh một cái vọng tưởng, sao họ có thể ngừng lại, họ không theo vọng tưởng. Okay, this is incredible. Think about it. We ordinary people, we have one false thought arises in our brains. What do? We immediately grasp it and think about it, and give rise to more subsequent thoughts. The second stage, Arhat, is so wise that as soon as one thought arises, he says, stop. It stops right here. Okay? No more confusion arises. So he recognizes, he's so sensitive, he recognizes that the arisal of the first false thought, and he says, no more. Because the subsequent thoughts, going after subsequent thoughts is a form of confusion. Okay? So far so good. Tại cái ngày nhị quả A-la-hán sau là thấy một cái vọng tưởng nó khởi lên, thì ngài có thể nói ngưng lại, không thể khởi cái vọng tưởng cái gì, có nghĩa là không có chạy theo cái vọng tưởng. Có nghĩa là cái hoàn cảnh, cái tư tưởng ở trong nó không thể nào làm xúc động lại. Okay? In other words, you see, the first stage Arhat is no longer affected by the external environment. Is it clear? Is it clear to all of you? Okay, this is the non-Buddhists don't explain this very well because they don't understand the nature of confusion, our confusion, so they can't put it in very precise terms. The Buddha is very wise. He says the nature of our confusion is first because we are affected by the external environment, by the outside world. So the Buddha says You have to cultivate into the stage where it's called transcendental wisdom, where it says you no longer are affected by external things. Okay? That's first stage of arhatship. Is it clear? Okay? Thành Đức Phật là người có trí huệ dễ sợ. Ngài giảng đó là cái người phàm phu bị cái ngoại cảnh nó chi phối. Thành ra chỉ có khi nào mà tới một cái cảnh giới mà không bị ngoại cảnh chi phối nữa mới gọi là có trí huệ chân chính. Okay? Thì cái trình độ đó là trình độ của sơ quả là. Is it clear? Now, the second stage arhat is what? He's not affected by his own internal confusion. Isn't that beautiful? Cái người nhị quả A-la-hán á thì nó hơn một trình độ nữa là mặc dù là không bị cái vọng tưởng của cái trong cái tâm thân mình á, tâm thần mình nó làm chi phối, tức là không bị ở trong nó chi phối. That's one layer inside. We're going in. It says, I'm not affected by my own thoughts because, as we all know, thoughts arise in us constantly without us doing anything about it. And yet, this second stage arhat says, stop. No more. No second thoughts. Is it clear? He has that ability. Là cái người nhị quả A-la-hán rất đặc biệt. Là quý vị biết cái người thường phạm môn chúng ta là bị cái tư tưởng nó khởi lên đều mà không có cách nào mà điều khiển được con người nhị quả A-la-hán. Thì ngài phải nói cái vòng tuần đầu tiên nó khởi lên thì ngài có thể ngừng lại không cho cái vòng tuần nhị nó khởi lên. Is it clear?
Yep.
Okay. And the third stage arhat is a guy who's no longer confused by have any confusion in his life. Cái người tam quả là thì người không còn bị cái dục giới, cảnh giới của dục giới nó làm mê hoặc. In particular, he has put an end to feelings in the desire. Nhất là ngài đã chấm dứt được, đã đoạn được những cái giác cảm thọ trong cái dục giới. Okay? Any questions so far? Yes.
Can you correlate it?
Can you correlate that to the ending of the particular skandhas? Does that correlate?
Yes. Very good. I will, okay, for this particular lecture, I will explain to you the principles, okay, so that people understand the principles behind the Buddhist teaching. But in terms of cultivation, it's very individual. We don't explain it. I don't explain it in public like this. Okay? I will explain it to individuals when they reach it. Because it's not meant to be public knowledge. It's meant for the kind of knowledge here. There's two sides of knowledge. One for general knowledge, and one for problem solving. Okay? So your question pertains beyond the public knowledge is about problem solving. And when people get there and they come to me, I will explain to them, okay, in greater details. For two reasons. Number one is because this is to avoid people who are bookworms. Okay? And they read everything and they think they know everything. And they don't understand that Buddhism, real knowledge in Buddhism is about something called your experience with your mind and your body. It's not about your intellect anymore. You just have this aha moment. You say, that's what it means. And that moment when you really grasp it without thinking, that's what Buddhism is about. We help you develop it. It's not meant for you to read it and then say, I know about this, and it describe it to you. See, the second reason is that we don't say it that along the same line. We don't spell it out a lot of information because to prevent from the phony teachers from impressing students. Okay. Well, throughout my cultivation, I've run into so many teachers who read books, and who recite books from memory, who recite books from memory, and would quote all these things. What they don't realize is that all these principles, okay, are simply, if one teacher explained the principle in one book, and you copy it, and you take the principles explained by another teacher from another book, you put them together, they don't match. And that's why these people, when they read a lot of books, and they try to quote many books, they don't know what they're talking about. So it's very clear to us when you listen to these people say, that's a phony, he doesn't know what he's talking about. And let me tell you, it applies to people like me as well. Because I've listened to many people, many monks who explain it. And they say, I can tell you about the state of an 8th ground Bodhisattva or 4th stage Arhat, all those things. And they say, I quote these sutras and sastras, all these books from these big shots. And they don't know what I'm talking about because when you put different authors together, they don't quite match. There's a disconnect somewhere unless you understand the unexplained part. You cannot put them together. Okay, so the second part is about problem resolution, meaning that if you want to use there, okay, then that special knowledge is about helping you overcome your problems so that you can open wisdom. That's called the problem resolution skills that is only applicable to the person at that moment only. It's not meant for you, for me, to know as to discuss over tea or coffee or over lunch. Okay? It's very specialized knowledge. We put it as, for example, secrets, if you will. For example, like you cook. You know that after all these years of practice and become a great chef, you know a lot of things you cannot explain everything on books. You can write a recipe book, but there's so many more things you cannot explain. It's only when the students come to you and say, oh, master, I have this problem. How do I fix this? Okay? That's when the great chef says, oh, it's easy. Just do it. Okay? So, like everything else, we need to have both the general knowledge, the principles, which is important. Okay? And that's why we spend time explaining you the principle behind this. But then there's a section where it's specialized knowledge to solve the problem associated with these different things. That's why we don't explain it in public. At least I don't explain it in public. Okay? So when you get there, I explain it to you. That's a long answer to the question. Okay. Câu hỏi là cái sơ quả La Hán có liên quan tới cái ngũ ấm, thì tôi nói câu hỏi đúng, để tôi nói như rõ ràng. Khi mà giảng kinh Phật pháp nó có cái đặc điểm như vậy. Phật pháp nó giảng hai phần. Cái phần là cái nghĩa lý, những cái định nghĩa, là những cái hiểu biết mà về cái lý. Okay. Còn cái đó là giảng được. Còn cái phần sự có nghĩa là quý vị phải tu tới cái cảnh giới đó rồi. Thì cái phần sự là cái phần mà người thầy không có giảng sâu trong sách, mà sẽ giúp quý vị giải quyết những cái vấn đề khi quý vị tới cảnh giới. Cái phần sự ít khi giảng ra, đó là những cái bí mật quý vị biết không? Cái người tu hành, người thầy thì kiến thức thì kiến thức người ta biết được. Tại sao như vậy? Tại vì các cổ nhân ta cố ý ta làm như vậy, tại vì họ không muốn những cái người học sách, rất nhiều người là học sách, họ đọc rất nhiều sách, họ đọc sách tới người thầy tới ông tổ nọ tới ông tổ kia, xong họ gom lại họ giảng nó ở tôi nghiên cứu sách là 20 năm rồi. Okay? For example, for this particular sutra, there is a lay person who investigated the sutra for 22 years. He listened to all the major masters, the enlightened masters himself. So he listened to them all after 22 years. And he says, I heard everything there is here about the Vajra Sutra. Okay, I heard all the great masters. He's very, very dedicated. So he said, this is one of the most important sutras in Buddhism, by the way. It is a fact. And therefore he invested his time, his lifetime, studying the sutra and going to places to listen to the masters. And the great masters explain it. After 22 years, he says, I know everything there is to know about the sutra. Because no one else knows better than me because listen to everyone else. So he started writing a sutra, this book, this thick book, which on the Vajra Sutra by saying, this is what I heard from everyone. And he starts criticizing and said, this master is right, the other master is not quite right, and so on and so on. So I too, 17 years ago, I was looking for a book in the Vajra Sutra. A librarian, a Chinese librarian, gave me the book and says, you know, this is the Bible on the Vajra Sutra. You better investigate it. There's nothing else better than this. So I said, oh, thank you very much. Okay. So I brought it back. I said, oh, I'm so lucky. I'm going to wait until I'm ready because this is my Bible. Okay. This is the ultimate knowledge for me. After 10 years later, I was ready. I was ready to read it. I read it, and I ran the section where the man says, you know, this great master is wrong, and he doesn't, you know, I disagree with him. And I looked at that and I said, no, this guy may know, he may have heard everything, but he still doesn't get the principles behind Vajra Sutra. Just because you repeat what the great master says doesn't mean it penetrates you. That's a part about we are known in the Western world as the aha moment. You listen to the sutras, by the way, folks. You listen to the principles. That's only the first phase. Second phase is that you have this aha moment. That's when you truly understand. Until you learn something, you first have to learn about the principles. But until, in Buddhism, as far as Buddhism is concerned, until you have this aha moment, until it's found, that's true wisdom. Okay? Thầy có cuốn sách là Trăng Quỷ Giang Vi Đông, ông nghiên cứu cuộc đời, ông nghiên cứu tại vì kinh Kim Cang là một cái đại kinh của nên Phật giáo Đại thừa. Ông bỏ thì giờ ông nghiên cứu sách vở, xong ông đi nghe những cái vị đại tăng đó mà rất nhiều người Bồ Tát giác ngộ rồi giảng những cái kinh này. Thì ông rất là hãnh diện, ông nói sau 22 năm ông nghiên cứu kinh này rồi. Tại vì cái thời kỳ Bát Nhã Đức Phật của kinh này là Đức Phật bỏ 22 năm dạy là cái thời kỳ những cái giáo lý đó. Thì ông bỏ 22 năm ông nghiên cứu một cái bộ kinh này thôi. Rồi sau 22 năm ông nói là tôi hiểu cái kinh này rồi. Ông đầu ông gom lại, ông giảng kinh đó. Rồi ông nói là cái vị đại sư là nó đúng, vì đại sư nó sai, phần này đúng, phần kia sai. Thì thầy đọc cái cuốn sách này thầy ôn trùng những cái kinh ông mới giảng không sợ. Để sau nó mới thấy là ông nói lầm, ông mình chưa hiểu tại sao như vậy. Chẳng muốn hiểu Phật pháp, hiểu đầu tiên phải hiểu cái giáo lý cái đó, phải nghe cái giáo lý đó. Xong cái phần cái gì rất quan trọng là cái gì về bỗng nhiên ngồi thiền đó niệm Phật bỗng nhiên bỗng nhiên mình tỷ hồi được, mình thể hồi được cái giáo lý đó, không còn suy nghĩ. Từ lúc đó mình thực sự hiểu Phật pháp, lúc đó mới nói là tôi hiểu được. Còn khi mà nói là quý vị chỉ ngồi mình nghe thôi đó, nghe nói là cái luật nhân quả là này nọ, cái chân không là gì, diệu hữu cái gì, đó chỉ cái đó dùng còn dùng cái trí thức. Còn cái tuyên bố cái lúc mà quý vị thể hồi được bỗng nhiên cái óc mình nó có một cái hiểu biết đặc biệt mà không cần suy nghĩ. Let me distinguish the two for your sake. Your book knowledge, bookworm knowledge, is based on conscious thinking. Is it clear? You're still thinking. You read. You say like Thomas when he responded to my question this morning. He said, I think this is what you mean. When you say he starts thinking, that's when he's wrong. Okay. That book knowledge is based on conscious thinking. You read it and you process it. You say, this is consistent with the books I read before. Like that man who listened for 22 years to all these explanations. It's still conscious thinking. Okay? So far so good? Still reasoning. Whereas the the aha moment is actually there's a mental connection in your brains while you're physically there's a new connection in your brains that enables you to understand without thinking. Becomes your second nature. You don't think about it anymore. You just know. For example, you just know that someone likes you. Someone is attracted to you. Am I correct? You ladies are very good at that, right? You know someone is attracted to you, right? They glance at you. Oh, I think he likes me. You have those aha moments, don't you? Yeah? A lot, right? No. Us too much. No. Roberta! Where have you been? You hang out on the wrong track. Yeah, you hang out with the wrong track. Thành ra cái lúc mà mình thể hội được cái óc mình nó có một cái mới, thành ra mình không cần suy nghĩ mình cũng như mình biết được, như mình cái linh tính, cái biết được cái linh tính của mình. Okay. All right. And then the fourth stage aha is this person here we started talking about it last week. The fourth stage aha is the highest level of ahatship. It's very special kind of understanding where this person here is recognized by throughout the universe. Trust me, folks. This fourth stage aha, people know about it. They're so famous because they are considered to be a superior being. Okay? Not to you, not by you, because you guys are confused. Okay? But for the people who are not confused, to look at this fourth stage aha and say, wow, he's something else. He's a special individual. And he's supposed to be revered. That's why he's worthy to receive offerings. These people are telling each other, you tell them to go make offering with the fourth stage aha. That's why it's called worthy offering. Is it clear? Because they tell each other, they say, hey son, you go and offer to him. Okay? You tell your wife, hey, it's a fourth stage aha. Go make an offering to him. Okay? That's why it's worthy offering. Killer fee to believe this person here, puts an end was always affliction. Without birth, meaning he can live forever. Okay? And so we started talking about this. The fourth stage aha is very, very special. It's one of the most worthwhile things you can achieve in your life. This present life, in my opinion. So you cultivate, you come here to this world, this high world. I feel that becoming a fourth stage aha is one of the most noble things, the most important things you can attain in your life. It's just my personal opinion. Cái điều này tứ gọi là mà mình rất đặc biệt là cái khắp cái vũ trụ này rất nhiều người biết nhau. Phàm phu không biết được, những người có trí tuệ không biết nhau. Thành ta nói là cái người đặc biệt, quý vị nên tới đó cúng dường họ, nhưng mà người là người ứng cúng. Ok? Xứng đáng để nhận cái cúng dường của chúng ta. Cũng là sát tật, Ngài không còn cái phiền não, không còn buồn, không còn giận, không còn vui, không còn hờn. Ngài cũng là vô sanh, tại Ngài đã muốn sống bao lâu cũng được, muốn chết cũng là cái cảnh giới rất đặc biệt. Okay, so we're continuing with our explanation of the fourth stage aha here, because it's a very, very important concept. It's called wisdom. Now we have true transcendental wisdom. The first stage of aha wisdom is considered smaller wisdom. The Arhats wisdom is considered pretty significant. Okay? All right. So, we are on slide 274. Okay? Again, an Arhat kills the thieves of affliction. Afflictions are considered thieves for us because affliction robs us of our wisdom life. It shortens our wisdom life. That's why they're called thieves. A-la-hán là sát tặc, cái tặc của phiền não được coi là những người ăn cướp, là tại vì họ ăn cướp cái nền, cái huệ mạng của chúng ta, khiến chúng ta nghèo nàn hơn, khiến chúng ta chết sớm hơn. Okay. The Bodhisattva is high level, much higher level than Arhat. Okay. He also kills the thief, but he also kills something that the Arhat does not know about, something called ignorance. So the Bodhisattva is a much higher concept, much higher level than the fourth stage Arhat. Okay. By the way, when we talk about Arhats, it's short for fourth stage Arhat. It's below levels, third or to third stage Arhats we mentioned by stage, okay, to discern the difference. Okay. So the Bodhisattva is a much higher level attainment in Buddhism that he gets there because he's aware of something that the Arhat is not aware of. He's aware of the need to get rid of ignorance that still plagues the Arhats. Okay? Người Bồ Tát một cái trình độ cao hơn nhiều, cao hơn tức quả là nhiều, xa vời, một trình độ rất là đặc biệt, khó hơn nhiều, tại vì các ngài hiểu có những cái hiểu biết người A La Hán không hiểu được, ngài biết cái tầm quan trọng của cái liễu và đọa, cái vô minh, và người A La Hán còn rất nhiều vô minh mà không biết mình còn vô minh. Okay, and that is the difference between the depth between the Hinayana and Mahayana. That's one way to look at it. When you mention Buddhism, there's two main branches, Hinayana and Mahayana. And the difference between them is depth. That's all there is to it. Thành khi cái vị nghe Phật giáo có hai cái dòng chính, cái môn phái tiểu thừa với đại thừa. Thì cái sự khác biệt giữa cái tiểu thừa với đại thừa chỉ đó thôi. Cái đại thừa nó thâm sâu hơn tiểu thừa nhiều nữa. Okay. And that's reflected in the goals of the practice. Hinayana, they wish to shoot for the fourth stage arhatship as the end goal. Whereas the Mahayana, their objective is to make it to the Bodhisattva stages. Okay? And I mentioned the word death. The death is that because the Bodhisattvas, the Mahayanas, practitioners, understand that afflictions arise from ignorance. Ignorance is a much deeper level of affliction that give rise. Ignorance gives rise to affliction. Okay? So the Mahayana, the objective is to settle and go for the root of the problem. They're not happy with the high level of affliction, reduction, or elimination. Is it clear? So that's the difference in depth between Mahayana and Hinayana. Cái đại thừa là cái mục tiêu họ khác, họ chú trọng về nhổ gõ tận gốc, nhổ nhỏ tận gốc là ok. Tận gốc là họ biết rằng là cái vô minh, cái nguồn gốc của cái phiền não. Tiểu thừa chỉ lo liễu phiền não thôi, chứ còn vẫn chưa giải quyết được cái vô minh. Và bên đại thừa ta hiểu rằng vô minh là nó sinh khởi cái phiền não. Thành ra bên đại thừa, người tu theo đại thừa nhắm nhổ vào tận gốc là giải quyết cái vô minh luôn. Okay? All right. Yes.
Shuru, I was wondering, in the Pali Canon and the Hinayana texts, they do talk a lot about ignorance and getting rid of ignorance being the cause of affliction.
Yes.
So how does that jive with what you're saying? They don't quite understand the true nature of ignorance, or what they're talking about by ignorance is not the same thing as what the Bodhisattva sees?
They can talk about it, but they don't have the technology to get rid of ignorance. They don't know how to. Okay? That's because they read it from the Mahayana text. but no one ever showed them how to do it. See, that's why there's something called principles and something called problem resolution. They never learn how to do it. That's why they still cannot get rid of ignorance. They say, it's something called ignorance. They don't know what it is. They don't know how to get rid of it. Okay? So you may imitate me, you may pleasurize me, okay? But you don't know how to do it. Okay? I still have the last laugh. We still have the last laugh. Okay? Câu hỏi là tại sao có những sách bên chữ Pali nói là có họ muốn giải quyết cái vô minh, nhưng người ta nói hỏi câu khác biệt gì với cái lời thầy mới giảng rồi, họ có thể giảng về vô minh nhưng mà họ không biết cái phương pháp để giải quyết cái vô minh, họ không có cái kỹ thuật để mà đo cái vô minh, hiểu cái vô minh, thành ra nó khác biệt ở chỗ đó. Là cái gì hiểu cái tên, hiểu cái chữ, cái gì không biết cái cách làm. Okay. All right. Any other questions? All right. Now, the Arhats, fourth stage Arhat, the Arhats is realizing something called the position of no study. Okay. Tới một cái vị mà vô học, có nghĩa là không cần học nữa. Meaning that he reached the level of true understanding. You don't need to understand anymore. Okay, that's how the Hinayana people put it. That attainment as a position of no study. Cái tiểu thừa gọi là cái vị vô học, không cần học nữa. But he has no need to study about afflictions anymore, but he still has to study about ignorance. Okay. Nếu họ không vô học về cái phiền não, đều vẫn còn học hỏi nhiều về cái vô minh. Okay. In fact, in Mahayana, the highest level of Bodhisattva, this is one position just below the Buddha's position. Đến Đại Thừa có một cái địa vị cao nhất, mà chỉ thấp hơn địa vị cao tối cao gọi là Phật quả thôi, thì gọi là địa vị nhiều giác. Gọi là địa vị đẳng giác, đẳng giác là nhiều giác, đẳng giác. Thì ngay cái ngài đẳng giác Bồ Tát nó vẫn còn một cái phần, cái tối hậu nó sinh tướng vô minh. Đó là cái nhân thực. So there is something called the last particle of ignorance, which is this is still give rise to production. Anyway, when you get there, then you can explain it to me. This is the principles behind it. I don't know.
When you talk about ignorance,
Yes.
when you talk about ignorance, then you indicate that ignorance means that the cause is one to be reborn. The main cause that the one is supposed to is talking about the reborn, recycle, right?
That's right. It causes us to cycle in the wheel of reincarnation. Okay.
Arhat still has ignorance. He still has ignorance.
Well, the ignorance. The Arhats has ignorance at the finer levels of Mahayana is called ignorance. Okay? But it also called ignorance in Hinayana, because the Hinayana, what they call ignorance, actually primarily sexual desire and give rise as an affliction. Okay? So they usually confuse the ignorance as sexual desire. Yes.
I understand the ignorance has something to do with sexual desire, but that assuming the fact that Arhat still has ignorance and he's supposed to be within the realm of the reborn and recycling. Yeah. What about me then? Maybe about 100 times reborn?
Beaver, you know too much about Buddhism now. You should stop causing me problems. Your questions are getting better. I think last month the question was kind of silly. Now the question is so precise. It's very good. You're catching up very quickly. Okay, but let's still book knowledge, okay? So you still have to work at the aha moment. That's my criticism on you. For embarrassing me. Let me see if I can answer it for you. The ignorance that Hinayana talked about, or they explain in Hinayana context of the Arhats or the Pratyeka or the enlightened conditions in the Hinayana deal is called ignorance. Alright? But that ignorance there is not the same kind of ignorance that the Mahayana talked about. It's a coarser form of ignorance. Okay? In Mahayana, for you to move from the Hinayana level of Arhatship or Pratyeka Buddhaship to the Bodhisattva stage, you need to go through the processes of a lot of confusions, and then you reach ignorance. The ignorance there are very, very specific to Mahayana that the Hinayana doesn't know. It's very refined, very, very fine, very minute. That if I told you about it, you would be laughing along the master. Come on, you must be joking. Okay? And what happened, and let me give you a clue of what it is. To give you an idea of ignorance, the differentiation in ignorance between Hinayana and Mahayana. Would you like to hear it today?
Yes.
Because he forced me now. Peter embarrassed me so much. I was, he said, Master, you talk in circle. You talk about ignorance as Arhat and not knowing about ignorance, and then you say he and ignorance. So where are you? Where do you stand? Can you take a stand here to help me, help Peter understand clearly? I say, yeah, you caught me. Okay, so that's why he's forcing the issue. So it's not my fault. Okay. Good question. I think he's about to jump on the same thing as well. Am I correct? And this is what I call mutiny.
Get desperate now,
Again, there's a difference between ignorance between Arhat and the Bodhisattva. Is it fair? Because it's too complicated. Let me simplify it for you. Okay. Ignorance for the Arhat, basically the Arhat calls ignorance sexual desire.
Sexual desire.
Yes.
Arhat has
He has no sexual desire. He has no interest in sex.
yes, no interest.
Peter, control yourself. I know it's hard to accept. See, I get back at people in very subtle ways. Ông này phá tôi hỏi tại sao A-la-hán mà đọa vô minh mà thầy nói đọa vô minh mới thoát được cái thanh tựu. Rồi thầy nói đọa vô minh là xong thì qua đại thừa thầy nói là Bồ Tát nó mới thiệt sự đọa vô minh, còn A-hán có đọa vô minh. Thì vô minh thầy nó khác biệt chỗ nào? Thầy nói mình lần này cũng hỏi lần hai. Tháng trước tôi hỏi tầm 7, tầm 3. Bây giờ ông hỏi chính xác dễ sợ. Thầy mắc cỡ, thầy không biết sao trả lời. Thầy kẹt quá, thầy phải vào cái bí, thầy phải thử này. Nói cái vô minh của người A-hán là cái dục vọng, cái tình dục. Người A-hán gọi vô minh là vì cái tình dục thôi. So what happened is that to the Arhat, the deepest level of affliction that he recognizes is here. Yeah.
Sexual desire?
That's right. Thank you. Very good. So that's as deep as it gets. He said, I know all my afflictions arise from sexual desire. So if I sever sexual desire, all my afflictions are gone. He's right. That's what he's shooting for. So when you talk to the Arhat, you know this person Arhat because he said, let's have sex. He said, no, thanks. That's likes it too. The fourth stage Arhat, let me tell you, the fourth stage Arhat is very clear. He says, let's have sex. He says, no, thank you. I'm not interested.
That's
Some of us do fake it, okay, Peter. You have to believe everyone. But the true fourth stage Arhat says, I don't have sex with you. Okay? Because he ended sexual desire. Is it clear? Is that what you want to hear? A text about the fourth stage Arhat? I know this is the second week now. Cái người tứ quả là nhiều khi con phải biên sự tiếng Anh nghe tiếng Anh biên tiếng Việt là như thế đây như vậy cái quên okay? Cái không biết dịch nữa thành bị giảng như thôi không có dịch cái người tứ quả là ngài biết là cái phiền não nó được tạo từ cái dục vọng và ngài nói tôi muốn diệt cái dục vọng tôi muốn diệt cái phiền não cách tốt nhất tôi chắc cái dục vọng ngài chỉ chắc cái dục vọng ngài biết cái phiền não cái đó cái vô minh của ngài chỉ biết chừng đó thôi. Okay? This is the extent his knowledge of ignorance by the Hinayana understand ignorance as sexual desire. That's all they know. Is it clear? That's the difference between Hinayana and Mahayana. It's the same thing. Yes, it's sexual desire, but Mahayana understand a lot more about it than the Hinayana. Okay? Rồi cái sự khác biệt giữa cái tiểu thừa với đại thừa gì đó. Tiểu thừa đại thừa cũng biết là cái dục vọng là cái mà thấp nhất, nhưng đều cái người tiểu thừa không biết rõ về cái dục vọng là cái đại thừa. Yes, yes.
Well, third stage already has no desire, right?
Yes, only in desire.
Okay, then now what distinguishes the fourth stage Arhat from the third
He
stage?
has no desire in the form realm or the formless realms as well. That's right. Okay? When you get there, you know.
Doesn't make sense. Never mind.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to you right now, but when you're there, you understand what we're talking
Sure.
about. So far, so good? Okay. Now, I'm not done answering Peter's question yet because he's still shaking his knees. I'm not satisfied yet. I'm coming to you. I'm not letting you off the hook easily, Peter. For embarrassing you. Okay, so I just explained about the ignorance of the Arhat, right? I'm going to tell you about ignorance of the Bodhisattva to contrast it for you, to show you that it is so much more inconceivable than you can ever dream of. Okay? For example, okay, the Arhat says, I've ended sexual desire. He says, I know I've ended sexual desire. Okay? That's because it's my ignorance. Right? I ended my ignorance. Okay? However, he doesn't realize that the makeup of sexual desire, how it's made up. Okay? He only ended the coarse makeup of it. He has not ended the refined and minute sources of sexual desire. He ended only the coarse ones. That's why he put an end to the body. The body birthed to death. But he has not put an end to his mind birthed to death. Meaning he still has not put an end to his thoughts. You see?
That's Bodhisattva.
That's the Arhat.
Arhat.
Arhat cannot put an end to his thoughts.
Even Arhat.
Yes, very minute brain waves, and he cannot control it. He can control the coarse brain wave, he cannot control the minute brain waves. Is it clear? It's a difference.
Very much so hard.
Yeah? So if you look at it that way, and you see that sexual desire can jump up through all the minute brain waves to the coarse brain wave. So the Arhat says, I can control the section that causes my coarse brain waves to function. But he has no way of dealing with the minute, the more refined, the deeper brain waves inside him. He has no way to do it. That's the difference. Is it clear? Good question. Very good question. You can understand Buddhism for a change. Yes.
So you're saying the fourth Arhat, they understand how the desire comes and changes the way of thinking?
Yeah. The question is the fourth stage Arhat understands that sexual desire, okay, causes us to be afflicted, to have affliction. Affliction meaning that sexual desire causes us to like nice clothing, okay, nice fragrances, okay, nice cars, nice houses, makeup, okay. So he understands that, and therefore he finds a way to cut off that nature, those instigators, okay, part of sexual desire. The sexual desire is so much bigger. So he managed to end a very tiny sexual part of sexual desire, okay, that control the coarse thinking. But the remaining part of sexual desire is very refined part of sexual desire, okay, causes a lot more minute thinking, more refined patterns that the Arhat cannot deal with. That's his drawback.
So the fourth stage Arhat, he understood how that influenced the mind, but he realized he can't change the very root. So
Yeah, but you cannot change the lower brainwave length. Okay. The more difficult access one. Okay. He understands so much. The Arhat says, I'm not interested. I don't have any sexual desire anymore. He says, it no longer fools me. I don't find it interesting anymore. Okay. So he managed to understand that, have that kind of self-control. Okay. But at the level, let's talk about coarse thoughts. The coarse thought is, let's say, let's have sex. You see, can you imagine me and Mom talking about sex? Okay? The coarse thought is that let's have sex. Okay? So the Arhat, see, most of us, when we're driven by the coarse thought is that we find that the thought that having sexual intercourse, having sex is appealing to us. Is it clear? Roberta, you agree with that?
Yes.
Shame on you.
You asked a question, right?
There's a boy sitting next to you. Okay, so you see what I'm getting at? The thought of sexual intercourse is appealing to you, to us. Okay? It's not appealing to the Arhat. That's the difference between us and the Arhat. Okay? So far so good? Now Peter is going to cause more problems for the master.
I will not ask you this straight, but this only last questions.
You've exceeded your quota already.
Start with the major question. Okay. If I understood you correctly, then it means that the whole Buddhism, the recycling process, has major points, major facts, something to do with the sexual desire. That causes ignorance and weakness. Am I right?
Finally, an easy question. Như vậy, Phật giáo và đoạn cái sanh tử. Let me elaborate for you. This is where Buddhism is so criticized, is so misunderstood as something that we condemn sexual desire. Okay, we do have that label, right? Nên là cái Phật giáo có cái hình tượng là đọa cái tình dục. Let's be realistic about it. Okay? It's because of sexual desire, which causes sexual intercourse, that there's procreation is. Do you agree?
I agree.
Okay? It's because of sexual intercourse is birth. Birth. Right? Without sexual intercourse, no birth. Agree?
I agree.
Agree?
Yes.
And now she's laughing. And she says, see, monks, you think monks over there talk about it? I talk about anything. Yeah.
I don't think, like, I always question myself, who decided monks can't have sex? Because it's like, I tell the monk, because monk, you can't go to restroom, or because you're a monk, you can't eat. Like, it's like, it's the source of birth. We all come
I agree with you.
So
Will you talk to my Buddha?
I think because Buddha also has children, right?
Yeah.
So I think people make the kind of system where the monks can have sex because it is strong desire, so they were scared to control it. They think they can control it. Maybe they started from there. But I know some Buddhism practice in China, they allow them to get married.
Yeah.
So I think it's a question of how we balance it. And human beings figured it's too hard.
Sounds good to me.
I don't think it's. I don't know it's confusing, but I think.
I agree with you. Let me explain. Yeah, I know where you're coming from. This is why Buddhism is so vilified. It's to misunderstand Buddhism. Let me try, see that today I can clarify it for you. What's your name again? Remember, it's a quota in my lecture. One hard question today. Okay. Okay, let me back. Okay. You understand that in our world, sexual intercourse gives rise to birth. That's a fact, right? Okay, that's the way it is. Well, for most of us. Okay, and therefore, this is the difference between the Arhat and us. The Arhat is said to have ended birth and death because he says, I'm not interested in sexual desire. I'm not interested in having sex. Therefore, he put an end to his birth, hasn't he? He has put an end to birth. Is that clear? That's the Buddhist principles behind it. Okay? You may disagree with whatever. We're not talking about your personal belief. We're talking about the principles behind it. He says, fundamentally, because of sexual intercourse, I give rise to birth of my children. Right? And therefore, if I don't engage in sexual intercourse, I give no rise to birth of my children. So I put an end to birth. We agree with that. So far, so good? Yes.
I don't quite get that. I mean, you can have a person who doesn't have sex, but they're not an arhat, and they die, they're still going to be reborn. I mean, they're not going to give birth to anybody, but that doesn't mean that they won't be born as somebody else's children, right? They're different, different level, kind of.
Not quite that. I'm simplifying a lot for the sake of it, because people are interested in sexual desire, so why Buddhism is so anti-sexual desire? I'm just saying that it's not anti-sexual desire. It's just that you realize that for me to break the cycle of birth and death, I need to stop. Okay? I stop myself. If everyone stops, I will be in big trouble, aren't we? Right? But can everyone stop? No, we can't. Can we? How many arhats are there that you know of? That's why that's what makes the world go round. It's called ignorance, because we do not believe it. This is what makes the Arhat so special. He says, I understand, I am able to put an end to my sexual desire, so I rise above all of you. Is it clear? We can't. Can we? Don't answer that, Peter.
I was about to ask a question, but I promise you that I will not ask it, so I stop.
No, go ahead and ask questions.
I promise you.
Probably an easy question, yes.
No, next week.
Pretend it's going to be easy question, then it should be safe.
It's
Go
better.
easy on the old month, okay? Go on.
Isn't that Veda tradition? Veda? The recycling growth and death, reincarnation, and the sexual desire goes to major facts that contributes to rebirth.
Yes.
That doesn't seem to be the Buddha's enlightenment, but it was already in existence among the Vedic.
Are we talking about the Hindu Veda tradition? Okay. It has nothing to do with the Buddha. The Buddha does not invent sexual desire or ending sexual desire. He only says, this is what I observe, why it's happening. He doesn't create it.
I'm talking about the ignorance about how, why the person is supposed to be reborn and in the circle of reincarnation.
Yeah.
That thought, if I understood correctly, that thought already in existence during the Vedic times,
Yes.
during the 7th century BC. So that was not the enlightenment of Buddha, but
It is.
so it was tradition that took over by Buddha, right?
No. It's just explained by the Buddha. The Buddha only explains the facts of life. He didn't invent life. Buddha never created life. He never claimed that I created life. I created Roberta, and Roberta created Robert, and Robert created the grandson. No, the Buddha says, I just described you why things are happening, why Roberta came here, how Thomas came here, how Peter becomes so smart about Buddhism. Okay? So all the Buddha does is he explains things. He doesn't invent things. He doesn't. That's the difference between in Buddhism. The Buddha only states facts. He doesn't invent anything, by the way. He only speaks the truth. He says, this is what I know. This is what is really happening that you are not aware of. Okay, going back to sexual desire. We're not done with it. Okay, and this is difficult. Kim Dim has to translate that because it's too complicated for me to try to translate. So let me go further for you. The Arhat, he says that I realize that I will not blame you for your sexual desire or Peter for this, but I only am responsible for myself. I realize that for me to get out of it, I will have to put an end to my own sexual desire. He does not judge us. Okay? He says, you live your life, I live mine. My life, my choice is that I know that I want to put an end to my own birth and death. Okay? How? By putting an end to my sexual desire. Let me tell you why putting an end to the thought of sexual desire, okay, is freezing from birth and death. You want to hear that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the thought of wanting sexual desire gives rise to all other thoughts. Is it clear?
But it's the first of the 12 links, right?
Yes.
So,
That thought that
it's
says,
aware of that, yeah.
I want sexual intercourse, give rise to all other thoughts. So that Arhat says, this is not for show, this is for real thing. He says that I realize that all the other thoughts go back to the thought of sexual desire. All the other coarse thoughts, okay, go back to that thought. Is that clear? So the Arhat said, he cultivates, he gets to the point, said, I see that one thought I have left, the sexual desire, that the thought of having sex. He says, I chop it off, and he's dead. That's why his put an end to his birth and death. Birth here is the birth of all thoughts, all coarse thoughts, including the thought of sexual desire. All coarse thoughts, including the first one, the thought of sexual intercourse, or wanting sexual intercourse. Okay? So he says, I cultivate my level of wisdom is that I don't give rise to this thought called sexual intercourse. Wanting sexual intercourse. That's all he does. Okay? He's not telling you that you must not. He's not telling me that I must not. He says, I don't want it. So that's how I control my destiny. Okay? And because of not giving rise to the first thought of wanting sexual intercourse, okay, he also are able to live as long as he wants.
To live as long as you want?
Yes. Okay? He's able to enter samadhi and live as long as he wants. Okay? So that's the nature of Arhats. Now, going back to the point, why is that some people why does the Buddhism promote the elimination of sexual desire? Because sexual desire is the root of all evil in our world. Think about it.
Only you can control it.
So when you have sexual desire, you will stop. That's amazing of our human existence. Sexual desire gives rise to all kinds of vices.
It makes sense.
Okay?
Well,
So it says, Buddhism says, if you really know the root source of all these evil and problems in the world, it's caused by sexual desire. Okay? And if you're able to manage yourself so that you don't give rise to sexual desire, then you're able to control your own evil. Those of us who cannot control our sexual desire, it's okay. This is where we are. We're not there. So, okay? So, the bad image of Buddhism or the misunderstanding part about the Buddhism is that they say Buddhism condemns sexual desire. No, it doesn't. It says, the Buddha says, your problem arises from sexual desire. Okay? If you want to indulge in it, fine, go indulge in it. If you don't want to, there's a way to do it. That's what he said. And remember what I explained about this morning? Buddhism is about a deep, profound respect for each individual. He doesn't tell you what to do. All the Buddha says, here's the problem. Your unhappiness, your trouble is because of these reasons. You can choose to do something about it, or you can choose to ignore it. It's your choice. It totally respects our individual choices. He doesn't force it on us. Never. Okay? So, Buddhism is about this set of belief, this set of explanation to help you have a picture of why things are happening. And then you choose your own path. That's all. Is that clear? So, for example, the Buddha realized that he says, for example, people like In, who is very attached to teaching children, okay, and being a teacher, okay, then there's a path, a Buddhist practice called a lay person. But the Buddha said, this is what you ought to be doing as a lay person. And then there are people like me, nice teacher, who says, I want to know a little more. I want to have a little more out of my life. Then he says, there's a path called for left-wing people. Left-wing people meaning that you become a monk. And you sever your ties with your family so that you can concentrate on your monk work. Okay. Then there's a way to do it that will help you, that help us make it easier for us to sever sexual desire. Okay. The lay people path, you can also get there. It's a bit longer, a lot longer. For us monks and nuns, we have more intensive approach. Okay. Now, that goes back to your point. Why is it monks don't eat much, and they don't smile, or they're poor? Okay. All those things. All those things are the secret training techniques that the Buddha taught us. That has been very effective for 2,000 years now. Okay? So don't knock them because they are very effective, very specialized, very effective to help us become a fourth stage arhat. Our practice, our goal, when I wear this clothes, is that I'm reminding myself that my end goal, one of my major goals in life, is to become a fourth stage arhat. That's why I'm doing this. Okay. So it's different from your goals. Oh, by the way, lay people can also become fourth stage arhat. They can, and higher. For example, I know of a handful of people who are bodhisattvas, who are lay people. So they reach way beyond fourth stage arhat as a lay person. So the Buddha has many pathways, okay? And you still get there. We all can get there. It's a matter of time. Okay. So far so good. Does it help improve the image of Buddhism to you? Kinh điển nghe hiểu không? Cái phần quan trọng tôi nói rõ ràng hiểu lầm. Phật giáo một cực đoan, Phật giáo không cực đoan. Phật giáo là cái sự lựa chọn con đường mình đi, cái đường tà gia, mình xuất gia. Okay. Mình xuất gia thuyết pháp tới tứ quả La Hán lẹ hơn và nó tích cực hơn, nó gắt gao hơn. Còn người tại gia cũng tới đó được, nhưng nó chậm hơn và nó nhẹ hơn. Thành ra mỗi con đường khác nhau. Đức Phật chỉ diễn tả, mô tả giảng cái tình trạng của cái thế giới của Đức Phật không ép chúng ta làm gì. Any other questions? Okay. And finally, last point in slide 274, we're making progress after an hour and a half. The equal enlightenment bodhisattvas, they are struggling with one final particle of ignorance. It is so minute, it is so refined that they can't handle it. It takes them forever to eliminate it. Then they become a Buddha. Cái đẳng giác Bồ Tát còn cái phần vô minh của nó vi tế cái độ người khác lại thấy không nổi. Thành ra phải cần giải quyết cái đó, xong rồi thành được Phật. Nó khó, rất là khó. Yes.
I think you were going to give an example of for a bodhisattva what ignorance is like at the more subtle level, but you maybe got distracted by some of the other questions.
No, I didn't forget about it. I decided to skip it when you caught me again. For example, very perceptive with you. You see, this guy is hungry for information. I give you information. I will not teach you the secrets. He's right. I started by saying I decided to skip it because hoping no one would notice. I was caught again. Okay. And the second time today, I just remember when you embarrass the master gets back at you. I believe in force equal reaction, cause equals effect. There's no threat. No empty threat. Okay. I started by saying that the Arhat says, I know the sexual desire causes all my affliction. That's what the Arhat knows. It's so wise. He says, I know that my part of having sex causes all the other problems. So I put an end to it. Okay? So I know, in particular, the fourth stage, Arhat says, I know I can put an end to my sexual desire. Right? I'm a fourth stage Arhat. I can put it in. I ignore such. So far so good. He knows that. He says, that's why I'm a fourth stage Arhat. Okay? So far so good? Is it clear? Cái người hồi này thầy cũng bỏ qua chuyện này như là cái ông bắt thầy một lần, bắt chèn một lần. Đó là cái người biết quả là ai là có thể nói biết là ngài biết rằng tôi biết rằng cái tư tưởng mà tình dục đó là chuyện không tốt, là tôi có cái khả năng mà không khởi cái tư tưởng là muốn chuyện tình dục. Nói tôi biết cái chuyện đó. Okay. Thành mới gọi là tứ quả là hán. Người tứ quả là hán tới đó quý vị sẽ biết là tôi không muốn cái chuyện này, tôi biết. So the fourth stage Arhat, the Arhat said, I know, I don't have that kind of thought. I don't want that kind of thought. So far so good? Okay. The Bodhisattva, that's an Arhat, right? Cái đó là trình độ A-la-hán. Còn Bồ Tát là sao? The Bodhisattva says that thought is bad news. Yes. Người Bồ Tát nói là cái biết đó là không tốt. You get it? Of course not. Knowledge is no good. Cái hiểu biết, your knowledge of that thought, the knowledge of facts is no good. Isn't that interesting? He says, my knowing that is no good. It's an impediment. Nghe rõ không? Cái biết đó là cái cản trở. Cái biết đó là chuyện không tốt. Yes.
You mean the thought of knowing the Arhat knows I have ended sexual desire, or the thought that sexual desire is the cause of it?
No. The Arhat says, I know. I put an end to sexual desire. I know it's no good. Okay? I know that sexual desire is no good. That knowledge, he says, I know. That knowing, that the Arhat realizes and certifies to the Bodhisattva is bad news. The Bodhisattva wants to get rid of that thought even. He says, I don't want that thought. The Arhat hangs on to that thought. You got that text? The Arhat says, I know this is my opinion. I am able to do it. Okay? I got it. The Bodhisattva says, I don't want that thought. Why? Because it's still a thought, isn't it beautiful? That's a subtlety between the Hinayana and Mahayana. Thế thì thấy không? Cái người A-la-hán biết là tôi biết, tôi có tư tưởng, còn cái tư tưởng là tôi biết là tôi đã đòi được cái tình dục rồi. Người Bồ Tát nói rằng cái tư tưởng nó vẫn còn cái tư tưởng mà tôi biết là vẫn còn không tốt. Thành cái người Bồ Tát, cái pháp người Bồ Tát nó vi tế hơn nhiều và đỏ những cái tư tưởng nó luôn. So the Bodhisattva's dharma is much more subtle, Jimmy. He says, I don't and even such thought, such knowledge, I don't even want it because it's still a thought. Isn't that beautiful? That's the depth between Mahayana and Hinayana. Đó cái khác biệt giữa cái chiều sâu của đại thừa cái chiều sâu. Because in Mahayana, there's something that you ought to know. This is very advanced, okay, and very maybe disconcerting to some of you. In Mahayana, there's a concept called the obstruction of what is known. You heard of it, right? One of the 8 difficulties, okay? What are the 8 difficulties? Okay. Yes.
What's the Chinese term for that?
Good job. Sủa chư trọng. Your knowledge obstruction. The obstruction, what is known, meaning your own knowledge, obstruction. Binds you down. Give example. Cái này quan trọng. Cái là cái sở tri chứa sủa chư trọng. Cái sở tri chứa. Nó đâu là cái sở tri chứa? Là cái biết của mình đó, nó cột mình lại. For example, you know that having $1 billion is a good thing, right? Therefore, what do, Peter? You hang on to your $1 billion, don't you? You can't let go. That's called the obstruction of one's knowledge. That knowledge binds you down. Là như quý vị biết rằng là cái tô phở nó ngon, thành ra quý vị vì cái biết rồi quý vị trút cái tô phở, quý vị không bỏ cái tô phở. Thành cái biết rồi nó cột mình. Is it clear? In a beautiful, that's Mahayana. Mahayana says when you reach that final level, it's the knowledge that is undesirable. It makes you feel like burning all the books. Peter says, I'm buying, but I'm going to burn, not going to burn all books. The Bodhisattva says, I'm burning all books. I'm not attached to anything. That's any knowledge. As soon as you read it, you burn it. And read it, you burn it. You read it, you burn it. You don't attach to anything. It doesn't mean that you have to burn all the books. It only means that you read it, you drop it. You know, you drop. You know, you drop it. It's not about burning books. It's not about condemning knowledge. It's about not attaching, not acting on knowledge. Okay? The Buddha is not saying that you should not know. The Buddha says, whatever you know, don't attach to it. Boy, Amy and I are struggling with that. What's my degree for? Your degree is for your boss to attach to, not you. That's the difference. Okay? We get a degree because we need to show it to our boss so that we get paid and get hired. Okay? But we're not attached to it. That's the difference. As far as they're good?
大老师，如果喜欢看经书太多的人呢，他就是手之相太过厉害。如果放下的时候，又会忘记了。
She says that so many people like Peter who love to read sutras and read books. So their obstruction of what is known is so heavy. They say yes, of course. Because they know a lot more than the monks and nuns. Let's remember that man, I explained that he spent 22 years listening to all the lectures on Vajra Sutra, and he said, what did he say? I know a lot more than you do. What is that called? Obstruction of what is known.
The other side of the obstruction is what is known is knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knows too much. He still cannot get rid of it. Therefore he thinks he knows everything. That's why I look at it, if you really understand the Vajra Sutra, you would not have said that I know everything about Vajra Sutra. You would have never said that. Agree? Cái gì thấy cái ông Giang Viên ông nói là tôi sau khi nghiên cứu 22 năm cái bộ kinh Kim Cang này tôi không ai biết hơn tôi, là ông nên bị cái sợ tri chướng bản kinh điển. Nếu ông không bị, ông không có nói, ông không nghĩ, ông không biết, rõ ràng nên bị kẹt. Anh người đầu tiên hiểu kinh Kim Cang, That's why I rest my case. I said, that's why this guy does not understand the Vajra Sutra. I don't care what he said. He's still stuck by it. Is it clear? Yes? Everyone's awake. How about that? On a hot day, hot afternoon. We're all sweating like crazy, but yes.
Aren't there different levels to this knowledge? Like the guy who wrote that book, he's probably way below the level of a first stage Arhat. So he's just got a very limited kind of intellectual knowledge. But I guess you could also say that even the higher levels of attainment of actual wisdom, it's still a kind of knowledge you can get stuck on, even though it's beyond that sort of book knowledge. That's what it's saying.
Absolutely. You don't even know. You don't even know. And this is why, you see what he just made? This point is very good. It's not a question, by the way, that's why I forgive him. That's how he's getting smart. Instead of asking questions, he's making statements. Too smart. Them boys are so sneaky. I mean, that's precisely the point. The point is that at different levels of Bodhisattva, they're stuck on a certain kind of knowledge. They don't realize they're stuck on a certain kind of knowledge, including the enlightened Bodhisattva. He's stuck on a different kind of knowledge. He doesn't realize it. Okay? Bài câu hỏi hay, khéo hôm nay là tụi mình thông minh, nó hỏi cô hấp búa thì khó chịu thì nó nói, nó làm cái statement thì nói là thì ngay những người mình giác ngộ trong có bị kèm cái chi kiến nó đúng cái sợ chi kiến nguy hiểm như vậy, ngay người là mình cảm giác người ta cũng có một cái sợ một cái sợ chi kiến chi chướng mà không có thấy được luôn, nó khó lắm được, nó bị trên rồi. Okay. Any other questions or comments? Very good discussion. You guys are very alive. You're very active. You really understand. We are delving to the depth of Buddhism that people don't talk about. And you guys are doing very well. I'm very proud of you. Trình độ thì biết cái gì rất là điệp, rất là khá. Và ít người nói có thể bàn luận với Phật giáo về cái sự phân biệt này rất là vi tế. Người bàn luận như bao nhiêu là trình độ cái gì hiểu biết về Phật giáo rất là cao. Okay, I'm on slide 275. Continuing with the fourth stage Arhat, this attainment of in Buddhism, and in this section of the sutra, the Buddha says, and the fourth stage Arhat has the thought, I've attained the fourth stage Arhat. And Subhuti says, no, you don't have that kind of thought. Okay, why? Because the fourth stage Arhat is basically a name. It's meaningless. It's not attached to the name either. Remember? The name is but a thought. So you're not even attached to a thought. Okay? Phần này cái Phật hỏi này tu Bồ Đề, cái người tứ quả La Hán, còn cái tư tưởng là tôi đạt tứ quả La Hán chưa? Không. Tu Bồ Đề trả lời không có được, tại vì cái người tứ quả La Hán đâu có chấp trước vào cái sự quả gì nữa, làm sao mà còn có cái tư tưởng đó được. Okay. Cái tứ quả chỉ một cái tên thôi, nó chẳng có ý nghĩa đối với người tứ quả là only an empty name. Because if you still think of it as an attainment, then this person is attached to Dharma, Dharma attainment, achievement of success. And therefore, he is not realizing emptiness of Dharma. Dharma, by the way, those of you who don't know, Dharma is just anything, everything. Okay? And Dharma means anything and everything. Dharma with the capital D is a short for Buddha Dharma. That's a Buddhist principle. Okay? Is that clear? Please pay attention to the distinction. So the capital letters matters here. So it's that he's still attached to Dharma, meaning that he's still attached to something called achievement. Achieving the fourth stage arhatship. He's not attached to it anymore. Okay? And if he's attached, he says, I'm attached to attaining a fourth stage arhatship, then he has not realized the emptiness of Dharma, meaning that he has not realized that even the name called fourth stage arhatship, basically it's just a concept. It's meaningless. Okay? It's a name that we use to impress you, confuse people. But once you get there, it's there's nothing to impress people about. Right? There you go. You see? After you get it, you don't try to impress people anymore. It's only the people who don't get it is trying to impress you constantly. He says, you know, I know about fourth stage arhatship. It's wonderful. I cannot tell you what it is, but I'm pretty close to it. Okay? They drop hints to impress you. The fourth stage arhat says, fourth stage arhat, this is nothing. There's nothing to talk about. There's nothing worth talking about. Okay? So that's why once you reach fourth stage arhatship, you become very poor. That's why we train ourselves to be poor right away. Okay? See the beauty of the two approaches, two major approaches we talk about. Lay people, it's okay to make money and buy cars and a house and have many girlfriends and boyfriends and so on. It's perfectly okay. Okay? On the left home side, the monk and nun side, we immediately become poor because ultimately we have nothing. We go towards nothing, not attaching to anything. Okay? Does that help? It's different approaches, a little bit more intensive on our side. Yes?
So the arhat is not attached to the notion I am attaining arhatship. You see, that's an empty thought, but he's still attached to the thought I have ended sexual desire.
No. He attached to he attached to the knowledge that I know.
Not a thought.
I know that I'm not attached to sexuality.
It's not a thought.
It's a knowledge. It's still a thought.
But it's more subtle. He doesn't realize he's attached there when he realizes not to attach to the thought I attained arhatship.
He doesn't realize he's attached to that thought. I ended sexually. He doesn't even know. I want you to know, you go out there and see fourth stage arhat. Be very humble, pay respect because he's a very special individual. I'm only telling you, sharing with you today as we make our little secret. Okay? That he's still attached to that thought, that knowledge. You guys are so confused. I'm special. He doesn't even realize he thinks he's himself special. Isn't it fascinating? That's the nature of such a ignorance. You got that, Peter? Yeah. Isn't that fascinating, Jimmy? Hey, this thing is such a great thing. I'm not telling you, I say, oh, there's nothing at all, but he does it. I'm capable of something, I know something you don't. Yes.
Well, so if I mean fourth state, or I should make sure and say something like, so you're very aware that you're not attached to sexual desire, right? To say that.
But you see, the thing about it is, because you speak, you being humorous, but your humor is nonsense. It's nonsense to me. Okay, it may make sense to them, but it doesn't make sense to me. Okay, you know what? Humor, he's being humorous, and I appreciate levity, but it's nonsense. His humor is nonsense. Because he said, when I get to the fourth stage arhat, I make sure that I tell you about it. I don't don't attach it. I bring it out. I got my own attachment. But you see,
Well, if I meet one, I'm definitely going to say that. I'm definitely going to say, by the way, I know
it doesn't quite make sense because that's not how the Arhat thinks. He doesn't think like that. You're only projecting what you're thinking of.
Okay.
When you get there, then your statement doesn't make sense.
Okay.
I assure you. Okay. Yes.
I'm wondering, is it accurate to say, I've heard it said elsewhere that basically the highest level of your attainment is also where you're stuck? Is that generally speaking true? You get stuck there?
And that's why in Buddhism we advocate humility. Because when you're stuck, you don't know you're stuck. You think you know everything, and the master is wrong. Okay? The master is not wrong. You don't understand what he's talking about, that's all. Okay? The master is not wrong, trust me. My master is not wrong. I know that. I'm wrong. He's not. That's what I know. That's what I believe. Okay? If you think your master is wrong, you're in big trouble. Find a different master. That's what I say. If you really believe your master is wrong, run. Don't stick around. Don't get stuck. Okay? It's usually the case your master explains things to you and you don't get it. He's trying to tell you something you don't get it. Because what Thomas just said, you don't know that you're stuck. You don't know. You think you're normal. You think you're so great. Okay? All right, continuing with slide 274. So, if you have a thought of obtaining that I obtain Arhatship, 4 stage Arhatship, then there's a thought of a self. There's an I who obtain. Clearly, right? This is how your world is run. I am great. I am up. Okay? I am full and sleepy. He's not listening anymore. I hate people. Never mind. I love men. You know, it's just an I. I attain 4 stage Arhat. That's called a mark, meaning there is a external thing that can be observed. It's called a mark. Okay? There's a mark of a self. There is a self somewhere that can be seen by all of us. That's called a mark. Mark of the self. And this is a very important point. Once you have a mark of the self, okay, please remember this. It produces others right away. That's the secret sauce. You get it? As soon as you say I, there's an I somewhere, there's others right away. You don't stop. Is it clear? This is precision of the Buddhist technology. The Buddha described the way we function in such intricate detail. It's fascinating. Okay? It's because there's an I, that there is I and you and them. There's me and the world. Okay? And because of that, then you create a mark of living beings. Because of there's others, then you become to differentiate between different kinds of others. There's some dogs, some cats, there are some ghosts, there's some spirits, there are some men, there's some women, Okay, so you differentiate. That's called you differentiate different types of beings. It's called living beings. And then you differentiate the mark of life, meaning the length of life. Each living being then can live for so long with a definite limited time period. So these 4 marks that the sutra talks about, me, others, that's 2. Living beings, that's 3. And a lifespan, that's 4. This is why, this is how we discriminate. In that order. First there's a rise to an I, then there is them, and there is different kinds of them, and then there is a lifespan. Isn't that beautiful? This is how we function. This is how our mind functions. Peter says, yeah, I'm no body. See, I. There's an I right away. Okay? So far so good? So you still attach with 4 marks. Any questions? Alright, we're moving on to the next slide. We're making progress today. 276. Slide number 3. The Arhat, the 4th stage Arhat, have put an end to what is called outflows. This is a very, very important Buddhist concept, folks. Outflow. What is outflow? As the word says, it flows out. Of where? Of what? Of you. Lậu. Lậu là cái khối lậu, là cái lậu là nó chạy ra từ đâu? Chạy ra từ mình, cái bản ngã của mình. It flows out of your great self. Nó bị lậu ra, thì chảy ra từ cái bản ngã của mình, cái bản tính của mình. That is a loss. An outflow is a loss. Lậu là một cái sự mất mát. Okay. Then Arhat is said to have no more outflows, has put an end to all outflows because he has no more afflictions. Thì A-la-hán là vô lậu, tại vì Ngài đã đoạn tất cả những phiền não. Because afflictions are outflows, different forms of outflows. Phiền não là cái loại lậu. Yes.
On the first set line, it's got A-N-D-E-D, E-N-D-E-D.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. He has no more afflictions. For example, he does not fight with living beings. In particular, the kind of outflow the Arhat can put an end to is the spirit of fighting, the mind of fighting. Cái phiền não Ngài đã đoạn hết rồi, tất cả những phiền não Ngài đã đoạn hết. Nhất là một cái loại phiền não là cái loại phiền não của loài tranh giành người khác. Okay? He doesn't fight, he engages in fight. Okay? And therefore, if he says, I obtain a fruition of Arhatship, then it comes from associated with fighting mind. Okay? It has no greed. By the way, folks. When you get the 4th stage Arhatship, you realize that there's nothing to be attained. Okay? Khi quý vị tới cái tứ gọi là Arhat, quý vị sẽ thấy là không có cái gì để mà đắc được hết. Okay? That is why. Before you get there, when you get real close, you have to let go of the desire to get there. Isn't that interesting? If you still hang on to that thought, you say, how much longer? I want to get there so bad. You have a vì hiểu không? Tới gần tới kết quả là phải xả cái tư tưởng của bạn, cái nguyện vọng muốn tới đó xả nó không còn một cái ham muốn gì. He's not angry anymore. His heart is no longer angry. Người ngài là không còn giận, because he has no more desire. He has no more unfulfilled desire. Ngài không còn một cái dục vọng gì chưa được thỏa mãn, thành giận. His nature, Arhat, is very interesting. The Arhat, okay, does not contradict with you. Rather, he accords with you. Người A-la-hán á, không tranh giành với quý vị, không tranh đấu với quý vị, mà chỉ thuần với quý vị. He accords with you. He goes along with you. Should. Should be able. Is that how you say in Chinese? That's a court. Go court is court. You don't believe it. Khi người A-la-hán là thuần với người khác, không tranh giành, không ép. He doesn't say, I don't like it. Oh, I don't like this at all. I don't like this anymore. Either you go away or I go away. That's fine. Cái người mà tứ quả là hán không nói là tôi không thích nữa, hoặc là thầy bỏ đi, hoặc là tôi bỏ đi. Người đó phải là người tứ quả là hán. Because the mind and the state are both empty. All these are very important Buddhist principles that you need. I put it down here for a purpose. I want you to hear this concept very important. Okay. These are key concepts in art. Thầy bỏ những cái trong cái tâm 276 này là tại thầy cố ý dùng những nhân từ để quý vị hiểu cái cảnh giới của vị A-la-hán. Okay. Tâm và cảnh đều là không. What is mind? Mind is you. Your conscious mind. That's what the mind here refers to. Your thinking mind. Cái tâm này là cái tâm suy nghĩ của quý vị. Your mind says, boy, this guy speaks sutra so well. That's a conscious mind. You don't have to praise me. You just look at me, you're adoring and I just speak. Okay? So the conscious mind says, I like it. This is great. That's conscious mind. Okay? And state is mind inside, state outside. Both inside and outside are non-existent. It no longer discriminates. Inside is heat. It sits here in the Buddha hall and says, oh my God, it's so hot today. I can't stand it. How come they don't have any AC here? It's so brutal, this temple. You know, so the mind is not empty and the state is not empty, is it? That's why you should endure a little bit more next week. Quý vị thấy cái người ngồi nói là trời sao cái chỗ này nó nóng quá, tôi chịu đựng không nổi. Cái chùa này sao mà cái chùa dã man vậy, sẽ bắt người ta tới bắt nghe tin mà ngồi mà chảy mồ hôi. Là cái tâm đó, cái ngã nó vẫn còn, than mình bị nóng. Thấy cái chùa, cái cảnh nó vẫn còn ở ngoài, vẫn còn ngoài cảnh, cái cảnh nó nóng quá. Cái tâm, cái cảnh nó đều không hết, không còn sợ nóng, không còn sợ. Now you know why we economize on the ACs and the heaters in the temple. So the inside and outside are constantly still. This is very interesting. Constantly still. What does constantly still mean? Trong ngoài nó đều là thường là tịch. Nghĩa là sao? Meaning what? Constantly still. One more minute. Yes, in. Excellent. no thought to the inside conditions or the outside conditions. He says, it's hot, so what? Okay? Is that clear? Alright, that's the end of today's lecture. I will continue the following week to 70 to 77. You like it? Thank you. Alright. You make it fun. And make me forget, help me forget it's so hot today. Okay. See you next week. Thank you. Okay, now we transfer. We do the transfer to help some people obtain rebirth in the Pure Land. Okay, so this is a transfer. So to give away all the goodness is to help people obtain rebirth. Okay? That's our tradition. The goodness is we generate, we give it away. We don't keep it. That's our spirit. In His merits and virtues adore the Buddha's pure land. Be vain of four kinds of kindness above. In those evil paths below. In those who see and hear. All bring forth the Bodhi mind. And when distribution by